Right, so hello again. Welcome back to part 2 of story time with Deluxe. If you recall, I managed to read through all the tablature translations that Char did for us. So now it is time to have a look through at all the memoir translations that she's done for us and have a read through those. But before that, let's just quickly have a look at some of the lunches that she gave us. So what I did was that I put most of those lunches into storage. One of the cool features that Sarah's able to do for us is that she's able to store some of the things for our hero. So in case you run out of space there, you can, put something away in storage, and then later on you can sell it off and get good money for it. So it lets you free up some storage space, which, believe me, you'll need a lot. You will need a lot of this space free in the game, because there are just so many items and treasures that you'll come across and find, from random drops from enemies and stuff you'll find in treasure chests along the island. So yeah, it's definitely good that Char's able to store stuff for you. So let's have a look at all the lunches. So mixed potato salad, lunch that Char made. Potato salad with various vegetables tossed in. The potatoes are still a little hard. Stamina hamburger, lunch that Char made. The aroma of the hamburger and demi-glaze tantalize the olfactory. Deluxe spare ribs, lunch that Char made with such refined seasoning it'll be delicious even when it gets cold. Barbecued roast beef, lunch that Char made such a fresh slice of juicy meat which will whet the appetite. Wild berry tart. The sweet wild berries and nuts give off a wonderful fragrance. Lindale style pizza, a local dish. The crust is a golden brown. Fried salmon, fried fish caught from Orwell Lake. It's a little burnt. Homemade sandwich, lunch that Char made. A ham and egg sandwich is a little squashed. Broiled chicken that was broiled and flavored with a dash of lemon. It seems to be a little undercooked. Fruit basket lunch was that Char made with freshly sliced fruit that is in season. Lunch that Char made, quiche made from various mushrooms in abundance in this region. And perfect steak lunch, fillet steak made from quality beef prepared just to your liking. So, as you can see here, you can pretty much get an indication of how her cooking has evolved over the course of this game. So, and it shows in the the restoration abilities of the packed lunch. So, for example, here. Here, for instance, where was it? Squashed lunch. Yeah. Ham sandwich basic. A ham and egg sandwich that's a little squashed. So this was probably the first, when she was first trying out or learning how to cook. So from basics, and then she gets better, a little advanced. Where's the other one? Up to fried salmon. And she goes from fried salmon to deluxe spare ribs. And then she gets so much better that she's able to make, good dishes like barbecued roast beef and then perfect steak lunch. So I kind of like that at a touch of the game. It's really nice. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to read memoir translations. So as you can see, I've got most of the memoirs here. I'm just missing one, but I think I'll get that last one in the final dungeon. So, but for the time being, let's just start from the beginning again and read from the very first memoir here. Cattleman's Moon, 23rd, 1210. 23rd day of the Cattleman's Moon, year 1210. I have decided to attempt the recording of personal memorandums starting today. I have no intention of sharing these private thoughts with others, but after recent introspection, I have been advised that this activity may provide a much-needed outlet. Of course, I am not fastidious or diligent like my sister, so I know not how long this may last. I know only that my thoughts and feelings must be expressed in here, and I shall express them freely. My day began with practice in the black arts, followed by fencing at midday, and capped off with lessons in etiquette during the evening hours. Day in and day out, the strict regimen remains unaltered, and I swear it's driving me to the brink. I know, I mustn't dwell. It is not my intent to focus only on cathartic rants. I must make a point to record the good tidings of my day as well. And if I were to identify what such tidings may be, it is only the praising of my sister that comes to mind, for her joy is my joy. My sister and I are always together, and it often feels as if the bond between us is strong enough to overcome any friendship, no matter the severity. Of course, I could never speak these words to her directly, as it is a rather embarrassing sentiment. Okay. What's next? Silver Wolf's Moon, 27th, 1210. 27th day of the Silver Wolf's Moon, year 1210. It is impossible to deny my sister's grace and elegance, held side by side with one such as I. She is clearly the lady among us. Father has always compared me with her for as long as I can remember, and sometimes I find myself truly hating that I've such a proper sibling. And yet, in spite of her elegance, or perhaps contributing to its air, she is the one cursed with frailty and delicacy, suffering from a weak constitution since she was but a young child. Citing poor health, she was absent from fencing practice today, which has me a bit concerned. I believe I shall go check on her condition within the hour. It is hard to believe that despite her melodies, she has always been the better fighter whenever we spar. Her resolve is strong, even in the face of her physical frailty. Given that, my concern for her seems all the more irrational, does it not? So, another one here. Fire Hen's Moon. 30th day of the Fire Hen's Moon, year 1211. I'm so very excited, for today I committed the unthinkable act of truancy, sneaking out to town in lieu of practice. I understand the value of training and study, but when each and every day is spent learning, it feels as though I may suffocate. And I do so love the town. I love each and every corner of it, but my favorite spot is most certainly the marketplace, filled with items, animals, and food products, the likes of which I've never seen before. I could happily lose myself in the bustle. Even given a full day's time, I would not tire of touring its many stores. Unfortunately, I was spotted by our guard whilst partaking of confectionaries in a most unladylike fashion and forced away from my beloved market. Upon my unwilling return to the castle, my instructors gave me quite the talking to and assured me that tomorrow's training would be particularly severe. When I spoke of this with my sister, she was quite amused. I have no regrets on the matter, though. It is important not just to learn, but to experience. And today I experienced that which I could never know through study alone. This is my life, the end, my journey. Indeed. Okay. 11th day of the Pegasus moon, year 1211. I've been in a dreadful mood all day. There's to be a ball held at the castle tonight, and unfortunately my attendance is mandatory. I simply despise dresses and all the pomp and daintiness that go along with them. I suppose I'll even be expected to dance so that my skirt may billow in the breeze. And it's such a long skirt too, which means I'll have to descend the staircase very slowly and carefully and try not to step on the hem and fall like last year. With everyone always comparing me to my sister, I never have fond recollections of these events. I suppose I can at least look forward to the hors d'oeuvres. Either way, it's an unavoidable circumstance, so I might as well make the best of it. Off I go then. Okay, the Unicorn's Moon. 7th day of the Unicorn's Moon, year 1212. I was able to hear the legend of the Phoenix from Sage Theobald's lecture today. Remember that, the legend of the Phoenix. An eternally living bird, such a rarity here even in Xanadu, the likes of which I'll never see. Once upon a time it took nest inside the sacred caves, but nobody has seen it for a long time. The phoenix would visit the land bringing forth great tidings and blessings, or so the legend goes. When the world has fallen into ruin, it's claimed to guide the people to their salvation. A being who lives eternally, ever watching over this world and its inhabitants. For some reason, hearing the story makes me feel warm inside. I'd really love to be able to meet the phoenix at least once. My sister also said she wants to see it, so we promised to go see it together. It's utterly impossible now, but someday I really do wish to see that phoenix. The story of the phoenix. Keep that in the back of your mind. Yes. Okay, Wild Rabbit's Moon. 10th day of the Wild Rabbit's Moon, year 1212. My sister collapsed. Her constitution isn't very strong, so I suppose she'd been gradually growing weaker. She ended up collapsing while we were practicing magic. She's currently resting, but her face is still so very pale. My sister is constantly worrying about me as she goes about life with a smile. I want to make sure she doesn't push herself too hard, so I really should be trying harder. No matter how many times I've asked Father and Sage Theobald, they never seem to let her get some rest. Yet if she continues on like this, there has to be something which I can do for her. Tomorrow I'm planning on giving things all my all so that I can surpass my sister. If I do that, then surely... Next. 3rd day of the Philael Crow's Moon, year 1215. Today my tutor praised me quite highly. Very soon I'll have the ability to surpass my sister. It's been 3 years since then. Even though I wasn't really much to look at then, I've grown a considerable amount. I'm still not as good as my sister. She still beats me in the black arts as well as swordplay, yet it won't be long before I surpass her. That time will come, just a little bit longer. In order to get ready for when the time comes, I think I need to keep applying myself like this. Okay, next. Demigods, 14th day of the Demigod's Moon, year 1216. Today is our 16th birthday. At long last, the important day is here. My sister and I together have a very important task today. No matter the outcome of today's events, there is nothing we can do to change it. It's the fate we were born into. Yet I hope the goddess of fate has heard my prayers, choosing me in place of my sister. While the thought scares me, it's my desire. I've done everything in order to swing the pendulum in my favor. Well, it's time for me to get going, I suppose. The next time I return to this room, I will know exactly what feelings I'll hold in my heart. Next. 15th day of the demigod's moon, year 1216. I am completely crestfallen. How could this happen? Why did things turn out this way? I cannot fathom to understand the events that transpired. My heart aches. I am utterly sad. Please save my sister. Doesn't sound too good. 17th day of the demigod's moon, year 1216. Much has happened and the moment had arrived. It should have been me who was chosen. All those days I spent utterly worthless. There's no way I can get them back now. Now my sister has gone and left me. Regardless, that task was supposed to be mine to bear for the sake of all Xanadu. It is time I throw away memories of the past. Now I must become the maiden of the seal. I must become the sacred maiden of the seal. And the last one. 19th day of the demigod's moon, year 1216. Today my father received a report from one of his generals. Who am I? Is it really right for me to just sit here dallying about? No, I need not to confirm for myself. The real meaning of the Black Bride, to become that person's. It is the only role for which I am suited for. I am the only one who can do this, a fate destined only to me. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, that's all the memoirs done and read up until then. So we've got one more left. And as I said before, hopefully we'll get the last one in the final dungeon. So yes, that is all the tablatures and the memoirs done. So in the next video, well, I guess you could say with the not so action-packed part done and over and done with and out of the way, we can now focus on our hero getting back to, finding a way into the final dungeon, killing off more monsters, and just being a general hero all around. But I hope you've all enjoyed this video. Thank you all for tuning in, watching and listening, and this is Deluxe saying until next time.